The yay space. Yay. I have the yay space. Let's go. We're going to play it.
Instead. So we're going to start right there. Defund all have now gone away, and we have opioid crises instead. So we're going to start right there. Defund all federally funded abortions. More Black people are aborted than born at this point in New York City.
And I haven't heard this part anyway, so I'm going to play it from here. Let me know if it's the right spot to play
That's
from.
2022. Also, the number one cause of death for Black people is abortion by far, over anything you could think of, over any type of crime, heart disease, drugs, police, all of these things. Suspend all foreign aid. We have to focus on our country. You know, we are the inventors. We invented, you know, Ford, Apple, Disney, McDonald's, you know, just America. America's the youngest startup in history. So, you know, when I hear the inventors, the amazing minds coming out of these colleges, the people who know how to create energy from tires, alternative energy sources, like Tesla said, the earth is a giant generator. And then Commonwealth Edison basically started electrocuting animals in the street. And then Tesla died without a penny trying to sell a nuclear bomb. But the information that he had would have freed us all. So I always...
Yo, he's so tapped in. That's so tapped. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Completely correct. The earth is a gigantic generator. Currently, how do we create energy? We harness fire in the form of coal, oil. Nuclear energy is just a form of radiating. The radiation is it radiates heat in a reaction, just like fire does. So we harness the heat. We transform the heat into electricity through steam, through whatever it takes. We get a coil spinning, and it charges up the wires with electrons. Store the energy, send it around, and boom. But the earth itself, they told me since I was a child, it has a gigantic iron core that's fucking molten hot. It's the size of a planet. This core of iron that is glowing red hot. Think of all the magma that shoots out of volcanoes. Kilotons of energy. And that's just it's a popping of a pimple on the crust outside of this molten energy core. And beyond that, it's already in electromagnetic energy. Like, we have an energy field around the planet called the ionosphere. It's ionized energy. That's what the aurora effects in the north and the south are. That's what protects us from cosmic rays. The atmosphere is gas, and it's ionized because of what? It's because of the electromagnetic radiation of this fucking mega generator core that's like humming in the middle of our planet. It's got like this crazy energy heart. It's just cooking in there. We're on the little peaceful surface with the crust hard matter. The waters are just cooling and out here on the outside, but on the inside it's radiating out all this energy that we see around us. And we're not tapping into that. It's so basic. We're not tapping into that for any of our energy needs. The planet is a humming core of molten red hot iron with an electromagnetic. It's iron. It's magnetic. Superheated electric iron in the middle of the core of the planet. And we're not tapping into that. We're not using any of that energy to power our world. Tesla told us how it works, showed us. Remember the Tesla coil? He's standing in the room. He could like touch it and energy's flying through the air. He's like, we can transmit energy through the air. The atmosphere is a perfect conductor of energy. We just got to like work out the kinks.
Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantities.
What I tell you, this nigga invented alternating current. The electricity that we have going all over the planet right now. Edison invented DC, which is like, that's what we use for low voltage, like the 12 volts in your car, like a car battery, a battery in your flashlight. That's DC power. The energy that flows in the power lines all over the world and powers everything that you run on in your home and everything else. That's alternating current. It flows both ways, and this like sine wave, high frequency was from this man. This man knows what he's talking about, is the point. What's the first sentence that we just got right here?
Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantities.
Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantities, he says.
It can drive the world's machinery without the need of coal, oil, gas, or any other fuel.
It can power the world's machinery without need for coal, oil, gas, or any other fuels. What I just said.
This new power for the driving of the world's machinery will be derived from the energy which operates the universe, the cosmic energy.
It will be derived from the energy that creates the universe, the cosmic energy. Is this really his voice? Did he even speak English? Sounds like a scam. But this is the shit he was talking about. This is an actual picture from his like laboratory. He was creating these Tesla coils. I guess they don't have footage of him. I thought I remember seeing footage. Maybe I've only seen photos. Let me show you a Tesla coil in action. Tesla cars are named after Nikola Tesla. 48-foot Tesla coil. Let's flipping go. This is electricity flowing through the air. Point being that the atmosphere of the earth is a suitable conductor. That's what lightning is. Lightning is energy from the ionosphere, the energy grid that surrounds the planet. It's fucking charged up, right? When a storm happens, there's pressure systems colliding with different gradients of moisture. And the friction between those different pressure systems, meaning different moisture condensations, when that friction between those gases comes and they collide, it charges up the ionosphere. And then there's a bunch of electricity stored up in there. It's like a battery. The battery that surrounds the planet in the atmosphere gets charged up. And then when there's a suitable ground connection able to be made, when those little invisible threads, when they line up, when the charge is right, something happens. That's what thunder is. Thunder, what makes that sound? Why do storm clouds produce these cracking boom sounds, explosions? It's electricity. It's electrical explosions happening in the atmosphere. The planet is a fucking charged up battery is the point. And charging up that battery is possible, not just in a storm with the clouds and they're all clashing and the system is like, and it explodes and it shoots a bolt down to the ground. The planet has this big magnetic, electromagnetic energy aspect to it. That's part of how it works. So why don't we use that? Well, your fucking guess is good as mine. All right, that's badass. Yeah, that's badass. I don't know how that thing works, by the way. I have no idea what's going on in there. I don't know how, I don't know. I don't understand a Tesla coil. Never looked into it. I don't know the mechanics, the function. What do you know? It has to do with resonance. It's essentially an acoustic feature in the atmosphere. Let's fucking go. Acoustic electricity.
Say, like, what if Tesla, had an Instagram? How much more free would our people be right now? Then you got the original BLM. It's not Black Lives Matter. It's Bureau of Land Development. I know about that because I got over 13,000 acres in America. I got 300 acres in Calabasas. I got property in Malibu. I've got over 12,000 acres in Wyoming, multiple properties. And it is very difficult to build. So that forces us into TikTok, into Second Life, into an alternative version of the real world. And the real world is the real video game. That's on earth. It shall be on earth as it is in heaven, like we pray. But if we've got the Bureau of Land Development blocking developers, and that's not even me, it's like a celebrity, coming from music, attempting to build homeless shelters and cities of the future. I'm talking about straight up good old boys like Catholics, that can't even build in
Yo.
America right now. So those are some of the main ones.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Definitely, America first. I really appreciate that.
Let's
Now,
go.
this is definitely going to be a really spicy question. I
Who's
want to
this
know, what was your
homosexual?
intention when you signed the document to meet with Putin to free Brittany Griner?
With Putin.
My intention, once again, yeah. My position is that America should seek peace with all of our adversaries and free all American prisoners held abroad. I had no interaction with the Russian government. I didn't accept any favors, no money, or any compensation. I signed the document for public distribution and plan to consult the State Department before the meeting.
And for the record, Ion, I was the one that walked that to Ye. There was never a direct to Ye. I was the one contacted, had the conversation with him, and then forwarded the conversation to the people that was representing him on his side. So everything, even the logistics and the wording of the contract, was done by me, and I forwarded over to him. So there was never any direct, even to date, right? It was Russia to Whack, Whack to Ye, Ye back to me, and me back to him. So that's the pecking order, and all that's documented for the record.
Wow, that's super dope. Thank you so much.
I don't know what
so
that
Brittany
is.
Griner was sentenced to 8 years.
You're gonna hear that from time to time. Welcome to Getty Gang. It's like some kind of ad that just plays over this automatically or something.
In Russia, per penal colony. What was your position on America's prisons, and how can they improve?
Well, they start building prisons off of third grade reading scores. Like, let's soak that in for a moment.
What?
Meaning that everything is designed around our education system. And when someone has a low reading score, they automatically say in third grade, this person is going to prison. Imagine that teacher parent meeting right there. People were just that literal. You go in and your son or daughter got a low score, and they said, well, Miss Jackson, your daughter's going to prison. You're like, she in third grade. But that's the reality of the development of that, let's say, Kyrie documentary Slave Boat. Let's use different kind of words, right? So, we don't get deplatformed, right? Of how that slave boat has never ended, and the prison system is another version of that. And then we talk about rehabilitation, but how is it rehabilitation if we weren't provided the abilities in the first place? So let's say habilitation through information. The information is purposely held from us. The literacy, they'll have you reading Moby Dick, but won't teach you how to read and understand a contract, knowing damn well you headed to the NBA or that you're going to be in entertainment in some way. So that makes it where if you can't have a grasp of actually what you're signing, you won't be in control of your life. So these become other versions of prisons. So the prison system isn't just actually where Larry Hoover is placed. It's also the bank is a prison system, because they got my money locked up as we speak. They literally put a freeze on my account. They put a $75 million hold on 4 different accounts. And it was, the funny thing was, I was complaining about my service. I was like, I put 140 million into Chase. Let me go to Chase. This is, one of the 2 biggest banks in America. And I had met with Jamie Dimon before, when I was a good little celebrity, early on into my Adidas deal. But second, I start banging on the desk, like, I want to see some deal flow. I don't want my money just to sit here. I want my money to make money. This is enough money for me and my family to never have to work again. And I have enough to work on homeless shelters and regenerative alternative energy and education and all the other things, and water purification, all other things I want to work on. And they had people on the phone that were so rude, that were talking to me so crazy. They was talking to me like I'm sitting in, like I'm waiting on my driver's license. And I got $140 million in the bank. So it makes me think, what about all the people that got debanked for their political opinion? And that's what was happening. They were dealing with, people like, there's a time when you would have thought that I said the H word based off of me just wearing a red hat. Now you looking up and people like, wow, we really were making more money at that time. Wow, it's like the economy is messed up again. So people can see things clear as day. Like liberals, the Democrats don't even like Biden at this point. They're like, what are we gonna do? I know, because I used to be married to a Democrat, so that's claims she bipartisan, but 100% be doing dinners with Hillary. So it's all forms of these prisons. All these contracts are forms of prison. But let's get directly to these prison systems. And me and people working on our potential. I don't say run. I say walk. Walk to the office in 24. My perspective is, the Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill." In earlier times, there were Catholics who were into the death penalty, latter less into it. I'm learning more about Catholic. I'm just straight up Christian. I believe that Jesus did enough by dying for us. Catholics feel, we could add something to the table. It's how I think Chris Rock had a joke about that. That was like, okay, you made all the millions, and your girlfriend's like, man, but I brought this steak to the place. That's something I go back and forth. Our Christian humor, we be going back and forth on whether you need acts, or if him sending his only begotten son was enough for us to get to heaven. But that's funny. Just all like Christian humor. I'm a new Christian anyway. Apparently I don't know enough about God yet. I'm told this all the time. But back to what we're saying on the death penalty. There's so many. I got a letter yesterday from a white gentleman, because apparently white lives, I guess, don't matter. But this is a white gentleman, because I said white lives matter, and all of a sudden I got 4 stadium shows canceled. I had what's the place where the Rams play? I was gonna make that my living room for a couple nights, and they they how I do, because I put a bed in the middle, go to sleep, and people watch it. So
whoa.
So I was gonna make the stadium my living room for a little bit, and then I wore the White Lives Matter T-shirt, and apparently I didn't know White Lives didn't matter. So I wore the T-shirt, and it's interesting because a white gentleman wrote a letter to me from prison, and just talking about how he was wrongfully accused, how he was living a normal life in college, and they got all of this evidence, and he's still locked up. So let's get to death penalty. Not only can people be wrongfully accused, with our judicial system, people could be wrongfully executed. So until we take the time to really, really check the DNA and put people with Christian values. Now, I'm tired of this moral compass conversation, because it'd be people that's like, hey, I'm a good person, and I'm in a different place. I'm in a different place. Me and God, we got a good relationship. That ain't no good relationship. You just don't want to listen to him. That's not a good relationship. Oh, I got a good
Let's go.
relationship with God. No, you
Real.
don't. You up here not trying to listen to God, right? And these are the kind of people that are setting our laws with the corrupt
Based.
system, right? So then we're gonna have a death penalty. We got to remove certain things. Like people will ask me, like obviously, I'm pro-life, life period, life from, you know, from pro-life on babies being born to no death penalty, but also, we can't immediately apply any kind of laws to abortion. And I know all my writers are going to be like, wait, what are you talking about? Until we present an alternative. Because people who go to get these abortions feel that there's no alternative. Ain't like people don't just naturally not want to have their children. We are put
True.
into places where we never got our reparations. We're put in boxes, we're gerrymandered, and we don't feel like we have no other opportunities.
Dude, I hate to stop him and to speak, but I'm doing the show here. I'm going to do a little reaction. I hate to stop him, not out of just respect for this man, but like what he's saying is like, I'm in church right now. Like I'm sitting here listening to him and I'm like, yo, preach, bro. Like he talks differently than Nick, but I feel like I'm listening to Nick. And this isn't stuff that Nick would say either. So I don't feel like this is programmed from Nick. I'm saying he's hitting it out of the park. Original takes. These aren't original conclusions, but his take is, let's go backwards. The last thing he just said, and he's going to say more of it, it sounds like, he's pro-life, meaning anti-death penalty and anti-abortion. We got to put a stop to that stuff, but not until we provide alternatives, because people don't naturally just want to not have kids. People don't naturally just want to kill their babies. So true. But who talks like that? It's just so, we use a pejorative when we say things sound basic. And I don't mean that it's a basic take. I mean like it's a fundamental reality that often doesn't get acknowledged, but it's so true. I like to hear that he's analyzing his theology. He's talking about I'm a baby Christian. Apparently I don't know anything about God. I think it's enough that he sacrificed his own son. He thinks the Catholics are just adding a little onto it. I understand that perspective. It makes sense. And yeah, it's not an easy thing for a non-Catholic to grasp. If you don't have any theological background, if you don't have any understanding of doctrine, liturgy, and all of that, I'm only coming to understand it myself. This book right here, which I just read, I listened to the audiobook. That's why it looks new. I bought the book so that I could read it to you guys, but I listened to the audiobook. I want to do it again. This book, I don't know if you can see, it's called Rome, Sweet Home. Ollie Alexander recommended this to me. It helped me understand a lot of things. It's written by a man and his wife who both went to like theological study university as Protestant Christians who were just like on fire for living a Christian life. And along their way, they have some encounters and some realizations that cause them to start questioning what they're doing and realizing that there's some problems in their theology. And when they seek out the solutions, they find out, oh, we're stumbling into Catholic territory. Like, oh, the logical answer to this problem we discovered is this. And then it kept on being like, well, that's what the Catholics say. And they were like, no, we're anti-Catholic. We're Protestants. The Protestants are in protest against the Catholic Church. I mean, they're anti-Catholic. They think that the Catholic Church is a corrupt institution and it gets in between you and God. And all you need is the Bible for scripture and the Holy Spirit for instruction. And that's it. They hate the Catholics. Remember that guy who was like the pro-Jewish missionary who I debated, that he loves Jews more than he loves he loves Jews and despises Catholics, and he's a Christian. So the Protestants hate Catholicism. They think of it as the enemy. Until you examine their theology enough and you realize, wait, this doesn't work without this or that. And then you find out, well, that's what the Catholics are doing. Oh, wow. Okay. Yikes. Anyway, let's keep going.
So before I step into the monasteries and this thing that God has set on my heart, like it's Noah's Ark right here, we got to say in the judicial system, I got to learn a bit about the judicial system when I was getting debanked and sued and attempted to be bankrupt. Ari Emanuel, he thought he had me, bro. God must love me. And who could like lose $2 billion and still be worth 400 million? You know, I looked up. I was like, I know Forbes didn't want to have to write that. I know they wanted to write like a negative, and I was like, man. And I told y'all probably heard me say in other interviews. And what I know, I've given you bits and pieces the uh, about my perspective on prison,
UPT salute.
how
Appreciate you,
everything
good
is a
brother.
scope. I started at the third grade. Then I went to wrongfully incarcerated people. Then I went to how you could be wrongfully executed. So clear, we have a scope where we're going, because you're probably like, yeah, how you going? The thing is, this is not a two-dimensional black and white existence that we're in. So to have to deliver messaging about full creations inside of sound bites is not fair to who we are as human beings. Only 30% of our language is verbal, and there's nothing whiter than English itself. It's literally English, right? So we're not even speaking in our native tongues on a platform that's not our native platform.
Ray Gibbs, salute.
So we're already still inside of some boxing rink, inside of some, and when we're in combat with each other, we're in some type of Mandingo competition, beating each other down, not even on our platform. And when it's all said and done, we still don't own the block, or own the platform, or own the bank, or own the distribution center, or own the manufacturing. Like I built the first sportswear manufacturing company
Mackey,
since World War II in Cody to bring jobs back. And meanwhile, people are just going in, moving my equipment. They move the equipment to LA. They take my name off of it, put somebody else's name on it. So by the time I'm in a situation where I'm finally out of
Welcome to Get It Game.
Out of the Adidas thing, I'm having to go start from scratch, go get EVA machines from scratch, go design the slide from scratch. And I'm happy about it, but boom, there goes another prison system.
New guy, user 67721 says, Ye isn't Catholic? Bro, you think Ye is Catholic? Are you kidding? How many Catholics you know lead gospel choirs? Bro, no, Ye's not Catholic. Did you think that? Let me know if you thought that.
You get these collusions. You get these lawyers, right? When I was going through my divorce contracts, I had 3. We're not going to say what hospital it is. We're not going to say who the lawyers are. We're not going to say what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know it is. But, and they just picture like I got the green jacket on, right now. We're not going to say who it is. So, and they was just looking over stuff. They like literally just going to give them the custody of the kids to the, you know what I'm saying? Like we had to go line by line by line by line, and really understand what does it mean that the award goes to the practitioner, and what do all these things mean? I was like, we ain't never used the word practitioner in the studio. We ain't never used the word practitioner, on a basketball court. They never mentioned practitioners in Wakanda 2, where they killed all the dads and now the moms running. You know what I'm saying? Like just like,
yo guys, bro, let me know what you think. A decisive victory. All right, let's get back to
like they did in real life. Man, I mean, y'all could have just made Michael B. Jordan be Black Panther. Like you really had.
We might go back later.
So, go ahead, man.
No, gotcha. So I have another question for you. So, what are your thoughts on people blaming you being outspoken as mental illness?
I love when Lil Uzi told me, "Crazy ain't crazy than crazy," meaning we are in a crazy society. This is Game of Thrones. If you look at the situations we're in, the percentage of us going to prison, the percentage of us being aborted, the fact that they can like Adidas can come at me like that, and your friends, quote unquote, like Pusha T could stand right next to an Adidas sign right after they've done that. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're living in crazy environments. I could put up, hey, I don't have the address to my daughter's birthday on her birthday, and not one of these celebrities speak up. These are crazy, right? And then you know, if you really look at the things that I'm talking
Next
about, a
time I
lot
go
of
on
people
stage, we
feel
all
like
go.
me.
Remember
So
from
what's the
last night?
crazy part? What I'm saying or the fact that I'm willing to say it?
No,
Hey,
I
yeah.
definitely
Fact
appreciate that.
is,
Facts. Let's go.
well,
It's not what I'm
guess we
saying. It's that
both
I'm
crazy
willing to
because I'm gonna
say it.
say
Yeah,
that.
Hey,
Oh,
and
he's
if
I'm
I
such a
could,
crazy too.
groiper, bro.
yeah, if I could add one part to that,
Yay, that's Captain Tazariot. He's an Israelite.
Oh,
appreciate it.
Good brother.
God bless.
Hey, God bless you too, brother. When I think that was a beautiful question, and what I wanted to ask you, do you think they intentionally misunderstand you, so then that everyone else will then also be able to begin to misunderstand you? So when you start doing things that are clearly intelligent thinking, people will already be predetermined to, okay, Kanye's just crazy, so we just gonna ignore him. Like, what do you think of that?
I gotta say, God bless Kyrie because he never had a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence trainer that was connected to multiple
That
celebrity
was crazy.
mental health and deaths, from Aaron Carter to old girl from Clueless. Um,
Her husband.
so what I'm saying is Kyrie
Billy
showed
McGill,
you
salute.
the energy of change that can happen just by two of us standing on something we believe in at one time. How many times it was only me at the telethon, only me at running on stage saying it's the best video, only me. You know what I'm saying? And this is the
Right.
first time they say, "Man, I know y'all got Ye pegged as crazy, but look at this documentary right here," which, mind you, is still up on Amazon, and ain't nobody
Yep.
talk to old boy. Ain't nobody talk to Bezos or who the new CEO is on Amazon.
Welcome to
So
Get It
it's like
Gang.
we're starting to
This
realize
is
that that was
live
that
Kanye
one moment.
West. This
And
is live.
Kyrie, he really took that hit on not on my behalf, but on our behalf and on God's people's behalf, that you got to see what happened. Not that we was directed by Disney. And it's like, oh man, they came together on this thing I'm watching on HBO or Hulu or Disney. But in real life, that people would take a financial sacrifice for the truth, because the truth will set us free. Like, who is Phil Knight? Ain't nobody exploited nobody more than Phil Knight. Are you kidding me? The head of Nike? And it's so funny how God got a sense of humor for him, because he's now come and put money publicly towards the Republican Party, because the company he created is getting gang banged. And I maybe that's not that Christian to say it like that, but Phil Knight, your company is getting gang banged. So go ahead and go on back to your house and walk 10 steps in front of your wife, like when I seen you in Palm Springs and you was walking 10 steps. How you told going a walk with your wife and you 10 steps ahead? I was like, see, that's why I don't like Nike. If this is the person that's setting the what do they call it? The environment or whatever. It's another word for that I'm missing right now. But the environment at Nike, of course, ask anybody that's ever dealt with Nike. You know, they've treated people. They didn't treat people good. They were treating me really bad when I had the Red October, and that's part of the reason why I ended up going to Adidas. You know, this is all related to Kyrie. This is where I'm going with it. But certain things just spark other things that I would like to tell y'all. I remember sitting in my mother-in-law's kitchen, and it was the same story that everybody got. My girlfriend pregnant. You know, I'm from Chicago. I ain't want to leave Nike. I grew up. I grew up in a city of Jordan. You ain't never seen somebody draw so many Jordans on their sketch pad and go and look at the shoes, and the Scottie Pippen flights the purple and black ones was behind plastic because they ain't want nobody touching them too much because they wanted to still sell them. We'd be going to Champ Sports. This is when like the shoes jumped over when Nike got that air bubble or that different kind of foam at the bottom, and they jumped past Avia, and K-Swiss and Reebok because they was neck and neck for a while, and then they jumped, and then they made those pumps with David Robinson. They literally dropped the Maybach a shoe. They had the nerve to have a shoe for $180. back then. Now I know that's a normal price right now, but for a kid, shoes cost $60 back then. But I remember that effect that Nike had on me. It didn't matter that people could buy that David Robinson pump or not. It affected me that at the point when Nike was treating me like how Chase was treating me, like how Adidas was treating me, that I was willing to stay with Nike because of how much I loved it, because of the value that we place on brands due to propaganda and it's just mental manipulation. All the Edward Bernays advertising. Why did Nike swoosh mean something to you? Why we want to be like Mike instead of wanting to be like Christ? Why every half the numbers in the NBA is number 23? All of that is branding, mental
Caleb Production,
branding.
salute.
And then you get a brother like Kyrie, well-read information. And another thing, you take like Jalen Brown, you take Kyrie, you take a couple people, right, who they family is going to be all right no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple family members that might ask me for a loan here and there, but my family got jobs, right? So that means that I don't have to listen to nothing nobody got to say. If I want to get rid of all my money and go to like riding skateboards or driving an Uber for the rest of my life, I can do that. But you know what they go and do to the NBA players? They'll be like, well, what about grandma? What about your auntie? You don't want to go back. You don't want to be shamed. You don't, because they got a position. They're going to give you some type of job, some type of Shaquille O'Neal job for the rest of your life, as long as you play the game. And with Kyrie, he got 1 year left. They question it like, will he even go, would he go play basketball again? And it's interesting to me. I know you got a question later about Candace Owens. Man, you got to understand, like in 1 week, I went in Trump, Alex Jones, and then I Elon. Like in a matter of 10 days, right? Where's the lies? You know what I'm saying? So, because everybody's beholden to somebody, right? And I got to say, I'm proud of Trump that he actually spoke up. And Ari Emanuel put something out that showed that I had stretched the limits of the idea anti-Semitism. So listen to this thing that Trump put up, I think it was this morning, right? So he says, how quickly Jewish leaders forget that I was the best by far president for Israel. They should be ashamed of themselves. This lack of loyalty to their greatest friends and allies is why large numbers in Congress and so many others have stopped giving support to Israel. He could have never said that had it changed in 1 week. It changed in 1 week because I went and I grabbed the third rail and I lived. I went as far as you can go and I lived. Now let's open up the conversation and see that Jared Kushner was standing next to Trump the whole time and Rahm Emanuel was standing next to Obama the whole time. And then Rahm Emanuel went to my hometown and destroyed that city. And what I liked is I was talking to a friend of mine that just took $30 million from Ari Emanuel. I'm sorry, he ain't got money like that from a investment company that Ari Emanuel is associated with. And I heard they big mad. I heard he mad. I heard, hey, Ari, you mad? You mad? Oh, what, Ari, what you so mad about? Oh, because they keep on making you put them articles out because you at the lowest level of the power structure? Is that why you so mad, Ari Emanuel? Oh, what? Oh, how does the power structure run?
Ari's mad, bro.
We got China
Thank you
headed
all
to be
for being here.
potentially, if it's not for Jesus Christ, the New World Order, the New America. But previous to that, we do have Christian ran families, the Medici, 1,000-year-old families. They sit above the Vatican. The Vatican sits above the financial groups, BlackRock and Vanguard. Vanguard sits above Putin, Kim Jong-un, Biden. And you know who's under all of them? Ari Emanuel, Hollywood. It is the first line of defense for the CIA for mind control. Come and get me.
So, okay, my other question for you is, what do you mean when
No,
you
you understand? I said, come and get me. What I just said is far past anything anybody in my position has ever said publicly.
Bro, real.
You understand that? So we just riding on God at this point. I ain't got no security. Y'all know exactly where I'm at.
Shout out to that, having God on your side? I appreciate you.
He ain't lying about that. Drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
God got us because it's that time, because they seeing it, right? They seeing it and they doing it every time. I got this joke. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell it. It's very racist.
No.
Not
Go.
Okay, I do the whole joke in the Chinese accent.
There you go. All right, let's go.
Okay,
Let's go.
Come on, man. I know you're gonna say it's very wrong.
There
But
we
watch
go.
this.
It's very long.
Okay, so
OG Patrice, salute.
when I wear the red hat, when Kim had the responsibility of watching me, they came to her and say, "Go get your nigga," and then Kim comes to me. The red hat, you got to take that off. You can't wear it to the White House. She said, look, my job is done. Mama, we out. You know what I'm saying? So then I go and I put White Lives Matter on a t-shirt. And they're like, well, we can't go. Oh, you know what? Let's go get celebrities. Let's go get Puff Daddy. Let's get Dave Chappelle. Let's go get Meek Mills. What made somebody think Meek Mills could say something to me?
Lace's journey, salute.
No, this is the funniest thing of everything. Yo, man, I'm about to start crying, laughing, man. Somebody thought Meek Mills.
Bro.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Meek's a gangster.
I'm not going to get to my
Meek's
joke.
a gangster, gang. Meek is a gangster, man.
Somebody said, oh, Meek. No, I'm literally in tears.
The world tour or your girls tour, right?
Hold on. Somebody's like...
No way.
This nigga's dying over there. Thank you for everybody being here. This is Kanye West Live.
That was not my joke, but somehow that part was really funny to me.
Oh, dude, this is
100.
Atticus so funny.
100.
Okay. Hold on. Let me think of something really not funny for a second. Okay. When you having sex, you try to think about something really unrelated. Let me think of something really not funny. Because every time I think about that, I can't finish my story. Okay, somebody thought they could get me. Okay. Anyway, so they say, Puff Daddy, go get your nigga, right? And then Puff calls me, with a wire on, right? And he's just like, yo, I'm going to beat up anybody with the White Lives Matter shirt. And then, so that's why I was like, yo, leave me alone. You fed, you working for Jewish people. So then it was like, went to Ari Emanuel and they were like, yo, go get your nigga. And Ari like, bro, I don't really like, this man is like really just prepped for war at all times. And I really, okay. All right, here I am. I'm Ari Emanuel. I want all the, businesses to not do business with my name, Ye, by the way. I want them to not do business with Ye, right? And then they freeze, they debank me. Adidas sues me for $75 million for marketing that we agreed
Welcome
upon.
To Getty Gang.
That was, I get into a longer story on that. And
welcome to Getty Gang.
They freeze my accounts. They my royalty for the next 4 years was $500 million a year, $500 million cash, one more zero than Dave Chappelle for the next 4 years. That's what was in contract if I didn't do nothing. If I just Yeezys, foam runner slides, all that, And so within 1 week, that's the whole thing. Oh, he lost $2 billion in a day. Then I went on Alex Jones and I said, love everybody. I said, love everybody because they, I ain't gonna say who it is. I ain't gonna say what doctor it is. I ain't gonna say what hospital it is, have been trying to make us love certain things, love the Grammys, love Nike, love killing each other, love opioids, love strip clubs, right? But it's like, no, you can't love this person. You can't love, no, you got to hate this person. This is a demonic figure and you got to hate this. So me, I'm like maybe a little bit autistic. I think I'm more autistic than I am bipolar, right? I think that's incorrect. I don't think I'm bipolar, but
Let's go,
I am like an
autism filled.
autistic person because you've seen by me being on stage with Drake last year, Kendrick said he got more growing to do. I can't help but love. I love Ari Emanuel. I can't help but love. I don't have nothing but love. So then I said, I love Hitler, meaning I love everyone. It's for God to judge. It's for us to love, and that's to be Christ-like. And then Ari Emanuel goes to his bosses in China and says, "What am I gonna do now?" It's like, and they like, "I don't know. We love Hitler too."
You
got to understand that that's how China has taken over, is they study his playbook. And so what I'm dealing with my accounts, when they didn't clear the Donny Hathaway sample for me yesterday morning, and it was, I'm not going to say what kind of late, I'm not going to say what hospital it was. I'm not going to say what it is. Was in between me and the Donny Hathaway estate, thus being in between me and the audience because I wanted to put my new music out. Now I can't do that due to the cancellation, right? That playbook is the communists following parts of the Nazi playbook. So really, I'm the one, and it's Jewish people that actually are helping me at this point, right? There's people literally hiding me under their wooden floorboard because everyone's like, man, he gave an opinion, so this is a cautionary tale. Look at even Charlemagne, we be having our issues, and he had to say it out loud. He do it a bunch of times. He made Biden say what it really is out loud. We remember that. He made whoever that guy was on his show say what it really is out loud. We remember that. And he said, yo, but Ye said something, he lost everything. And everything meaning everything they gave us. Because God gave me. I know, some people say, oh, got you. Got it. Or like Drake said, Adidas has Kanye West, I think, right? And I'm like, ain't nobody had me since my mama. Don't nobody got me. Don't nobody had me, has me, none of that. So people take everything. And you can't take it away from me. It's too late. That energy, that soul, there's nothing they could do at this point. It's nothing we could do other than have a real conversation at this point. Because guess what? After all of that, we still ain't had the conversation about the contracts and what led me to the DEFCON tweet in the first place. That's a reality.
So I want to get into the next question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Back? Oh, so no, okay. So you have mentioned that the sacrificing of Donda, and I kind of wanted you to elaborate on what did you mean by that.
Let's go. Good question.
This is just an idea of something that I saw, me seeing Michael Jordan's father taken away, Bill Cosby's son, my mom. I felt like these things happen to bring trauma and control to the Black voices, the blood of Christ, the original voice, the voices that are controlled by the media. Oh, this could happen. This could happen to you. This can happen again. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make this sacrifice. And, this is just, I saw a pattern. Sometimes people say, oh, well, what you're saying, that sounds erratic. I'm a producer. I see pattern recognition. I'm listening to Otis in Paris sitting at the table with Jay and Beyonce and Dream and stuff. Virgil's there. And I just hear the song and boom, let me make that a pattern. That's one of my things of what gives me a neo ability to see the world in these black and green matrix screen ways is my pattern recognition. That's what makes me a Rain Man. And if Rain Man saw those three things add up, he say, okay, well, the fourth one's gonna be Tiger Woods, and then the fifth one's gonna be. You get what I'm saying? There's a pattern of that happening. So I think the word sacrifice is, and I'm super Christian, but it sounds too. Nothing can never be too religious, but in this really secular media world, they use religion um, to sound. And people always gonna write things off as sounding crazy. So guess what? It's up to people to believe the stuff I'm saying or not at this point. Pretty much it's right every time. So, and I still have the ability to speak, and that's why I did this morning, because the last thing I need to do is stop expressing myself, because God put me in this position to express myself. So I'm saying my pattern recognition says that looks like there's sacrifices to major black celebrities in Hollywood.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Cap.
I appreciate it. I had a question, right? I've followed you like from your first album up until now. On your first album, you had songs like Spaceship, you had Jesus Walks. Even in your song, The Last Call, which I still play when I work out, you said, I played Jesus Walks for me and they wouldn't sign me. And so now, when you fast forward to 2022, you're extremely active with your belief. Is this something that you wanted to do back then, but you felt like maybe either the masses wasn't prepared for it or would be held back, and now you feel like you're in a position to bring it forth? Because I'm a fellow believer in Christ as well. Like, what made that change come to where you push it the way that you push it?
Jesus will break you down. And I would like to not be one of them cliche Christians that only call on God on Easter or when they at their lowest moment. But it would feel like all those man-made possessions were taken away from me. And what I want to say when we talk about the accounts being frozen, that ain't got nothing to do with Jewish people. It has to do with the fact that I went on Drink Champs drinking and bragging about serving,
Philly King,
not
salute.
serving Christ. If I say I buy a girl a house, that ain't what Christ want me to say, and want me to say with the money that he provided. Because to get that to be worth $11 billion, that's God. And God had to sit me back and Job me and put me in that well for a bit until I told the world and used this position to say, Jesus is king. There is only one way. If you ain't talking about Jesus, you wrong, and you can't lead. You can't lead. Now you get some suggestions. You can work on this contract, but you can't lead. You can't lead until you follow, and until you follow the truth and the way, and that is Jesus Christ. And that's what I had to learn. And I go down there, because I go into these places. I got a Napoleon. I got the short man complex. I got the Michael. I got the lawyer from Carlito's Way complex for sure. What are you talking about? I got pink polo next to Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? I still don't like the way Tata used to look at me in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It just never left my mind. But somebody just give you a look like, what you doing here? Play a beat. But I gotta say, one thing is so funny. It's like nobody really had my back and supported me as much as Tata. Now he always going to keep it real, because this is one of the realest people. Like if anybody know Tata, this is one of the realest, most straightforward people. Like even Jay might keep it more politically correct, but Tata just gonna boom. He's just gonna say what it is, how it always is. But Tata got me on Jay-Z on the Blueprint too. I talked to him. I was like, man, Tata, I got this chain, and back in Chicago, man, I'm running around saying I'm on the rock, man, and
App didn't send $7 noticing
album,
intensifying.
man, people, they ain't gonna believe in me as a rapper, man. And he went and got Jay to put me on Point Out the Bounce on a Timbaland beat, and my rap wasn't even that good. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no Watch the Throne rap, but it's like he did that. Another thing is I always be talking about Jay Brown. I'll be having my issue with Jay Brown. We got this joke going back and forth.
I don't know who Tata is. Somebody watching, let me know who's
jacket.
Tata. By the way, thank you. 228 live viewers. Let's go. We are almost to 2,000. We are 17 followers away. If you're watching right now and not currently following me, BigTech, cozy.tv/BigTech, please click the follow button. Hit me up with those follows. We only need 17 more. We could do it right now. There's probably 17 of you watching who haven't followed. Help me hit that number, bro. 2K, 2,000 followers for little old me. And also, little reminder, excuse the commercial break, but see that little bar on the bottom? That's the donation bar. That when we hit this goal, this pays me to do 4 hours of streaming, and when I do 4, I usually do 5. Everybody knows that. We're almost at 3 for tonight. This is what, as much as I love spending time with you guys, and I do, I love it, but I'm putting on a show here. I'm sitting myself in front of the camera. I can't leave. I can't take a break. I got to queue up the content. I put together this format for the stream. I've done a lot of prep to get here and be in this spot. That donation keeps me coming back. You got to donate to these streamers. We don't earn money from subs. We don't get paid for the replays. We're here on Cozy. We are in the outskirts. We're in the boondocks with you. That's where you are. We are having actual free speech. Meaning, we don't let anybody say anything they want here. We speak the way we want to, but we speak in the way that others won't let us. So this is speech you can't hear in other places. And this whole organization is supporting Nick and Ye and you guys. It's providing for you guys a lot of, it's a place to be. It's a place to hang out with your boys. I love Cozy. I watch it all the time. You'll see me in the chats here and there all the time. I know how valuable it is. I'm contributing value here too. So keep supporting your streamers. And me. See that bar? Make that gray bar go away. Turn it green. Put some cash in my pocket. A little gift to me. I appreciate it. It's a good thing. Charity, pay forward. I will receive it. And you know what I'm going to do with the money? I'm going to buy a cheeseburger. I'm going to put gas in my car. I'm also going to pay my editor. Do you guys know that I hired an editor? I paid $50, by the way, from the money that you guys gave me. I paid $50. I joined Sneako's creator kit. I've been talking to Sneako in there. I've been meeting editors who he has been training. Also, his editor, who's really good.
$5. Sorry for flooding chat with my bullshit.
Thanks, Based.
Hate speech is my buddy, and I don't have many people I can keep it real with unfiltered.
There you go. A place where the buddies can come hang out and chat. You can talk to each other. It's not bothering me. In fact, I became intrigued. I wonder what you guys are talking about. You guys are my buddies too. So it's all good. Vent away. Make friends here. I have a Discord server that you can join. Follow me on Telegram for alerts. Support your Cozy streamers. What I was saying, I pay $50. I joined the creator kit. I've been talking to Sneako. I've been talking to Sneako's editor. I've been meeting other guys who've been training under Sneako's editor, whose name is Musa, who's a Muslim. But he's really good. He's the one who, did you notice that Sneako came out of nowhere and ascended to millions of followers? That was because of Musa. Musa was his marketing guy, creating clips, creating shorts, creating Instagram profiles, creating TikTok campaigns, organizing all this stuff. Musa works his ass off for Sneako, and he caused Sneako to go from like 30 or 50,000 followers or something to 1 million. Musa did that. And Musa made a bunch of money off Sneako because Sneako was sharing some of his profits with Musa. Now Sneako has $1 million. And Musa has an army of these editors that Musa's been training, and I've been hiring the best ones that I can find from Musa's little army. And they're working behind the scenes right now. I already have a clip channel set up. It's getting started. By the way, I need to tell you guys, if I go off on a rant, if I do a reaction, if I get onto a theme for 5, 10, 15 minutes, as I tend to do, and you think that would have made a good clip, please, in the Discord or on Telegram, in the chat, wherever you can reach me, even you can just post it in here, and I'll notice it. I'll take note. I need timestamps. Otherwise, I got to go back and watch my own video and find the timestamps of where I want my editor to clip out. I have one of my guys who's watching. He's turned into a fan of the show. He's watching all these videos. He's taking notes. He's trying to find spots that he thinks will make a good clip a good short. These are used to promote Cozy, my channel, as well as the site in general, on other platforms. We're going out into Instagram, going out into TikTok, making YouTube channels, making YouTube shorts. These, essentially, they're entertaining little commercials that allow people to be entertained for a minute, hear something they liked from me, and go, who was that guy? And they'll see, oh, cozy.tv/BigTech. And then they'll come here. And then new friends from the outside, normies out there, are getting roped in by me. I'm paying for that. One of my editors, he wants $250 a week from me. That's $1,000 a month. And that's for his entry-level package of editing. You might say that sounds like a lot, but he's going to do a lot of work for that. It's a whole bunch of videos and a whole bunch of shorts, and he's managing accounts. Honestly, it's the right, you got to pay to play. And he does good quality. He's responsive. He talks to me every day. But that's $1,000 a month. BigTech needs to pay to market Cozy outside of Cozy and to bring more people in. So help me fill this up, bro. I'm going to pay $1,000 a month to my editor. Plus, I come in here and I spend hours every day with you guys. And now I enjoy it. But you see that I'm waiting till after Ethan Ralph is done, and then I'm streaming all night long. Staying up late so that you have a place to hang out. The 220 plus of you who are here, you're enjoying. $3, $5, $10, $20. Chip it in. I know you do it sometimes. And I always appreciate it. All right, commercial over.
Jacket. And this leather jacket had wool, but it had leather sleeves. And it made me think of like them leggings that girls used to wear, where it's like gym in the back, but leather in the front. I'm like, is you going to the gym or you going to the club? Let's make a decision here. Right. So Jay Brown had a jacket. I told him, yo, I want you to go on a flight. I want you to put it up in that compartment at the top, and I want you to leave it there. So, but no. And if you ever talk to Rihanna, talk to anybody.
Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you guys. It's powerchat.live/BigTech. That's the yellow flashing text right there. That's where you go do the donation. Somebody chat says, how many
Nick
edits
Papa
do you get for the
Giorgio
$1,000?
sent $10. I'm enjoying.
Thank you. Papa Giorgio. Yo, he's enjoying, and he chipped in $10. That's what I'm talking about. You can go hang out at the bar for 4 or 5 hours. How much are you going to spend there? Yeah, but then I get to drink drinks. Right. You get to pump a bunch of alcohol and calories into your body and interact with a bunch of retards. Hear a bunch of loud music that you didn't choose. Or you can hang out with your boys in the comfort and safety of your own home. Learn something. Interact with me. Watch Yay. The cutting edge. The nuclear hotness of the most important thing happening. I'm sharing it with you. You're right here. $10. That's cheaper than a combo at McDonald's. That you can gobble up and shit out. Good deal. Thank you for Papa Joe. So powerchat.live/BigTech. And also, I'll have to look it up again, but it's something like 7 feature videos, which would be 8 to 20 minutes long each. And he edits them with an intro. He makes a thumbnail. He edits out spaces. He makes it concise. He'll make 7 of those a week. So that's 1 a day. So he's gonna post it every day on multiple accounts. He's gonna make 2 versions of 7 videos, post them on multiple accounts, and then each of those videos he'll make 2 shorts out of each one. So you get 14. I get 7 feature videos posted every day by him. I don't have to do anything. And then he makes 2 shorts, the little snippets that are in vertical frame, aspect. So 14 of those a week, and he hosts those on the YouTube Shorts section as well as Instagram and TikTok. That's a lot of work. That's at least 10 hours of work. $25 an hour is a decent wage for a guy with some skill at video editing, and he's hosting the accounts and he's watching through, he's looking for spots, he's putting in some hustle to get that done. So it's the right value. The question is, will I get return on the money? Will I end up getting $250 a week back from that? At first, I probably won't. I'm probably going to be coming out of pocket. Bank account's going to be going down while I invest on these channels. But as the views start growing and as traction starts gaining, if I don't get banned and views start coming in, maybe then more people like Papa Giorgio will come in and they'll throw me $10 here and there. But it's really not just for that. It's like, you know how Brittany throws money at Nick in the super chats? Well, this will help Cozy grow. This will bring more people into the movement, bring more eyes on Cozy, more bodies connected to the message. I think that's a cool way to spend the money. So that's what I'm trying to do.
12 people on where I'm just talking about his jacket for a long period of time, right? And he'll know exactly what jacket I'm talking about. And I hope he left it. Leave that in the lost and found and don't find it. All right. But what Jay Brown did is when I had Stronger, and this is funny, this is like some proper music industry stuff. I had the sample and he was working at Def Jam. And it was very important because it was so progressive, this idea. Mind you, I made Stronger because my fiance at that time liked Justin Timberlake a little bit too much. He's all bringing sexy bag. I'm like, man, you just dancing too. You all up in the mirror to that, huh?
Welcome to Getty Gang.
You bringing sexy back, huh? You just, so we went and made Stronger and I would play it and she'd be looking like, you know, because I was kind of like a backpack rapper, you know, and she's like, yo, I don't know if people gonna understand it and get it. And I played the song. I remember they had Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls coming in and just like dancing. Like it looked like she had the whole Pussycat Dolls with her just to that. But then my boy Ice Pick, rest in peace, from Rough Riders came in and I played it for him and he put his nose up. He said, the whole album gonna sound like that.
Rorschach 2112 sent $15 when you blow up and become wildly successful. Remember your boys who were there from the beginning.
Think about that, guys. The boys who were here from the beginning get to be my boys who were here from the beginning. Rorschach's one of them. You all know who you are. My boys who were there from the beginning. That could be you. PowerChat.live/BigTech. Let's go.
We'll play on Hot 97. We know we're going to get the pop stations. This before, you know, I was canceled the first of my 30th times of getting canceled. So we knew we was going to get the pop station back then, but we had to make it for the black station. I put the song out. It didn't bang in the club. We went and got Switch to work on it, Pharrell to work on it, and then Timbaland. We had to go to the person who made Sexy Back. He redid the drums. It took him 10 minutes to do it. And then for the next 2 hours, he just talked about couldn't nobody do it but him. Can't nobody do this but me. You came to the right place. I'm the only person that could do this. Right here, I'm just sitting there, just listening to him.
Hey,
like when Pusha T had to listen to me talk for a long time. Well, like how y'all had to listen to me talk for a long time right now. Thank y'all for being my therapy today. I've been going through a lot. But anyway, I want to say Jay Brown went and there was someone who had the sample also. He went and bought the song to ensure that the first time you heard that was from me. So me and Jay Brown have our differences. Like he got a difference. Like he feel like it's okay to wear jackets with leather sleeves and wool bodies. We agree to disagree. But he has done
so true, Lambo.
A lot. You know, this stuff is like funny to me. I'm one of these people that you can tell obviously likes the sound of their own voice. And by the sounds of being the top 5 streaming artists of all time without no album out, hundreds of millions of other people do too. Did that answer your question?
Adam G, salute.
Yeah, somewhat of answer my question.
Okay.
Now, my next question.
Wait a second. He didn't sound energized on that though.
No,
I want you to get your question back.
Get him, Jay. Get him, Jay.
No.
Oh, shit, y'all.
I want to do a follow-up, but I know Ion's going to ask
do the follow-up because I want your energy level to be high.
Thanks for the follow-in time.
Okay, so my follow-up, I follow like the Israelite belief. And so the reason why I asked you that question about your path is because I love that journey. I see you're switching. And then from watching the Drink Champs video, you made a statement to say that, we're the Jews too. So like, where did that part come from? Was it something that you learned from like the Jewish people, or is this something that you learned from your own side? And where do you intend to take that part?
Welcome to Getty Gang.
Prelucid sent $3. My Siamese twin has detached and usurped me from my home. I am power chatting from a McDonald's.
What? Your Siamese twin?
HR said tone is inappropriate, sent $5. He has eclipsed American politics as though the entire establishment and hackneyed narratives got crumpled up and tossed into the wastebasket.
It's so true, bro. It's so true. We've been pushing on the window. We got a little bit of air where we could breathe. We're like, oh, okay, keep it from closing. We're just holding. And Ye comes and goes, well done, guys. You kept it open just long enough. Let me help you. Just boot, big old 3D printed black boot through the window. Window destroyed. American politics over. Irrelevant.
Is interesting. He talked about this. It's so funny. You wouldn't expect Alex Jones to specifically back up that thought and that theory. I would read the Bible. I'm looking at the location of the Bible, and I wouldn't visited Buju Banton, and I'm getting different people's perspectives on Christ. I have my boy Mickey Halstead also shares these same beliefs. And my question is, why are we the only people that don't have a flag? Well, obviously, our existence was erased. Those slave ships was real, bro. You know, we are the Jew and they are Jewish, like that of a Jew.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you wanted to hear that? I'm already canceled, right? So I could say stuff like that. I want to make sure, because it was important. Even though we're not face to face, I heard in your voice that Timberland story that I tell all the damn time was not that funny to you. You was trying to get into some you was trying to get into a real conversation. We trying to line up in front of the stadium right now. And people, my thing is, you know what? There are truths to the relationship. Stereotypes exist for a reason. There are more Chinese computer engineers and Indian computer engineers than there are of other races. You know, there are more creatives in the entertainment field than of other races that are black. You know, certain stereotypes exist for a reason. That's why they're around. Like everyone's trying to homogenize the new world order us and not have us look at the heritage of where things come from. Something that I heard for Christians out there is that the Bible describes dinosaurs as dragons, because that's something in the indoctrination school known as Sierra Canyon that they do to make your kids come home and be like, well, Dad, well, what's up with the dinosaurs? So we're saying the importance of history. And if we know where we come from, we can know where we're going. And there's all these overlaps
Urban Slayer.
where history repeats itself. Like certain stuff when I go through dealing with Yeezy and Skims and all that, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm in a Gucci movie right now as we speak. Like even this thing, like, why was Corey Gamble sent into the Kardashian Jenner family? Mind you, Corey Gamble was Puff Daddy's Manny, right? And then Corey Gamble was next to Justin Bieber when he was getting in trouble, right? And then soon as Bruce Jenner turned to Caitlyn Jenner, here go Corey Gamble. Why is that? Because if you see me and Kim and I'm doing a Yeezy fashion show and we got the most visibility of all time, then the richest man in the world would offer me a deal and then take the deal away from me and then hire my best friend and make him the head of Louis Vuitton, right? It was all to keep us at the Ari Emanuel entertainment level, because we stay on the path we're going, we get to Medici level. You go above Vatican. You go above Vanguard and BlackRock. But right now, Shorty got an investment firm that's half with, I'm not going to say what hospital is. I'm not going to say what the doctor is. It was a juice. So
no surprise.
But that's the thing, is you got to understand, the Armenians work in the meat packing district and the Jews work in the nigger packing district. The Jews are used by the Chinese to control the blacks. They just middlemen. They'll sell anything.
That's real. That's real. I mean,
come and get
real.
me.
Definitely. Nigga packing district.
Yeah, you definitely
Damn.
get the juice right now.
Oh, was this where it got shut down? Okay, so this was part 1. Yeah. Wonder how far I got to go for part 2. Wonder if it's in the comments. Maybe they got timestamps. Hold on, check for timestamps here. Yeah, just a bunch of links. Nobody hooking it up in the comments. Bro. Okay, we're just going to skip forward.
Man, I had fun, man. I ain't gonna lie.
There were certain things he said when he was said, you know, I'm the, like, at the time anyway, ex-wife now, but she would do
where I do that.
For his neighbor baddie.
Damn, man.
You guys got
oh,
a metaverse
man, I
tricking.
don't know what's going on. Hold on.
Yeah, you know.
I've never seen him like that, and if
This like, bro, like,
You know,
he comes back.
Yeah. It got messy over the past few days, bro.
Put him on YouTube.
Sweet face Lola, salute.
you sound like a.
Hey, when niggas put that tough guy stuff.
The support, I appreciate the love, but we're gonna get right back to the content. Let's go.
Goddamn, listen, motherfucker.
Bitch, nobody was talking to you.
Diamond and Gold Movies with the $5 super chat. Let's go.
Yeah.
do I?
I'm like, yo,
Right.
you know, Ion built this career.
White people raping.
You and Ye. He's talking about Elon. Go ahead, Ye.
Okay.
Since the
We're
beginning.
gonna play it. So,
Like, so you might as
Yeah,
well.
Master Cool, Master Cool. All right, I'll do that. I'll
Motherfucker
let
ain't ran.
2Ps know.
Most motherfuckers would have ran by.
She damn sure showed. She's outspoken.
Yes,
Turn up, rewind,
we
turn
are
up.
here, baby.
Let's
Getty
go, we're
Radio
I know some more stuff
exclusive. Let's go.
and the people are telling me why we want to hear what else he had to say. So I'm gonna take his record.
We need to turn it up a little bit. We need a little volume on that thing.
Be what happened.
Vexed Marketing, salute.
Okay.
And tell that
hold
nigga,
on.
tell that nigga to let you play the content.
Oh my God.
Freaky ass little boyfriend.
Grand
over.
National sent $10. You
Okay,
is
hold
kind.
on.
You is smart. You is important.
You know, Ye. So once again, they tried to stop the rain. But you know, Ye, one thing about Ye and Whack 100 is hard to stop the rain because we are the clouds. So I got you on record for the record because I know some more stuff you want to say. And the people are telling me, Whack, we want to hear what else he had to say. So I'm going to take his recording back to Clubhouse and we're going to play it. So live and direct is Whack 100 and Ye exclusive. Let's keep it moving.
Sir. Yes, sir. So, I wanted to talk about this Elon situation.
Okay.
Okay, so Elon is the front man for carbon credits. Tesla wouldn't have been profitable without carbon credits. It's not about rockets, not about Mars. It's not about Tesla. There's a new front man for Silicon Valley, and it's Elon. And I love
not having to be nobody halfway friend. People love that. It's like, man, Ye's friends with Elon. But if he was really my friend and he's fighting for free speech, how could you block me on Twitter for trying to bring the swastika and the Star of David together?
That's real.
That's my view of, hey, let's bring, I said love speech. Like I said, I love Arya, man. I love Elon. I love China.
What room you in?
Yeah.
We're not in no room. The Eon, wait, hold on, Ye. Ion is just me, you, and Ye. I got to record. You know I'm recording, and we'll take it back to Clubhouse. So let's go ahead and keep rocking. It's me, you, and Ye. He's talking about Elon. Go ahead, Ye.
Okay. So, basically what y'all seen happen to me is a cancellation of a social credit card. I can't get
Whoa,
the Donny Hathaway sample cleared. It's my biggest post in it might be the biggest post in Instagram history. 7 million views in 2 hours, 3 hours, and they take it down. I found out the closest reason they got Elon, when they take stuff and they ban my Instagram for 30 more days. So we believe it's because I put Alex Jones at the at the end of the song. Now, Elon tells me, it's too far. The reason why I said remember this is my final tweet. I didn't do that because because Elon was out of shape or something like that. I'm not in the best shape myself right now. I did it because Ari Emanuel was putting him through a Jewish humiliation ceremony by hosing him down. I wanted people to see that my so-called friend was getting hosed down this summer by the very person that China made tell all the companies, Adidas, all these people to to get out of business with me. That's the same people.
Whoa.
That's how close you are. You got to understand. It's like
welcome to Get It Game.
Welcome to Get It
Ari
Game.
Emanuel to put himself in that situation and jump out
That's
there
a
like
sub
that.
notification,
We really
by the
got
way.
under their skin. Go get your nigga, right? And now with Elon, go get your nigga, and he says, "Oh, I wanted to punch him," and I understand why it hurt because it's lit. Like Twitter just not. You need Elon, Trump, and Ye on Twitter for Twitter to be Twitter, all at the same time.
That's real.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't Twitter like that because I black out the Super Bowl. The way I hit the social media, I start hitting the posts like left, right, all different. It's like I was gonna say Bruce Lee, but bad example. So I thought Elon said he's supporting. I know nobody never heard of this guy, but his name is DeSantis. So, and it made me say in this social credit card where this place where they can ban your social credit card, debank you, then rebank you to freeze bank you. Thank you. To someone as big as me, to the top 5 streaming artists in the world, to the most Googled person on the planet. They could do that to me. So this is a cautionary tale. So basically what they're saying is if you don't vote for how Biden said, you don't vote for me, you're not black. What they're saying is, remember your Teslas are computer operated. So if you don't vote for DeSantis, we could lock you out your Teslas. Welcome to America.
Whoa.
That is super crazy. Now, you went to Instagram to respond to Elon. I brought up something about, Chinese and the government. Like, what was that about?
I mean, he looked half Chinese to me, and my grandma get India in her family. Elon definitely got Chinese in his. So, I said, okay, let's unify and find out. You throw some ideas out there. The internet is undefeated, correct? It's going to be somebody out there. I could use my autistic army. I'm on the spectrum a little slightly, you know, so at least so I am told. So, and they're going to find out that information. It just looks to me, I just put that as a proposal.
Mark
Everybody
Newcomb
knows
sent
Obama now from
$20.
Chicago.
Welcome to
You
Getty
know,
Gang.
he's only in the Senate like a half a
Welcome to
term.
Getty Gang.
They know they playing
Mark
that.
Newcomb, thank you,
all the
bro.
way, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you for the 20.
Since 1948. All of these
Shout out to
movements,
Mark
I know
Newcomb.
Woke's gonna be mad at me, but all of these
One of the
heroes, man,
homies.
is only one. That's Jesus Christ.
These boys who was here with me
You're
from
gonna
the
find
beginning.
out something about MLK,
We'll never forget
something
you,
about
gang.
JFK, something about
When
Malcolm,
Big Tech is
something
superstar.
all Rosa Parks. We know Rosa Parks is a plant. We know all of these things, right? And they use these media outlets to outrage. Outrage is an economy, the trauma economy. The trauma economy. What death are we going to promote this week? It ain't like 14 people ain't getting killed every week in Chicago, Atlanta, like all over. But no, we're going to publicize this on our, I'm not going to say whose platform it is. I'm not going to say what hospital it is. It was the Juice. But it's not. I got to stop.
That's such a good
out the
meme,
Juice,
dude.
because it's really
I'm not going to say who it is. Not gonna say it.
communist rule
It was
and
the
take
Juice.
over, you know, America. So
it's funny, bro.
That's why he got clipped.
I had to get back on, even though they banned me, to talk about that.
No, you did that. You did that. Now let's get into Obama. I definitely want to know what's your thought about his 8 years in office.
Who's this faggot asking me questions, bro? I want to talk about Obama. What's your thoughts about his first 8 years in office? Bro, why? Why he talk like that? It's kind of perfect, though, because, yeah, he's just sitting there. They want to call him evil Hitler, white supremacist. He's just chopping it up with a fag. And red pilling him and the fags agreeing. It's like optically for all of the, the demon energy normies. It's the right thing. It's the bait. You want to catch a fish, you got to throw them what they want, on the lure.
Merlin sent $10. I earn a coin from a proof of stake miner I have, which I convert to Litecoin. Like a couple dollars a week depending on the market. Which is part of my dono.
Let's go. Yo, we harvesting tokens, swapping for Litecoin, and sending it to BigTech. I'm thinking based. It's giving based energy. By the way, who remembers the Litecoin days? I told you guys to buy in at $50. It's about 80 now. You're welcome. I heard the other day, and by the other day I mean I think maybe this morning, that we've experienced a very deep sell-off in conjunction with the FTX debacle. So it really hit Bitcoin. But looking back through the cycle, and it's always easier to see it looking back, but this was in line with a certain type of pattern. And if that pattern that's now traceable through history holds up, it looks like we just ended the selling period, which means the buying period is around the corner, which really means that the buying should occur now, basically at the bottom. Now, I don't know, but if that turns out to be true, buying means price go up. So, hodlers, light comes after the darkest part of the night, or whatever the thing is. It's always darkest just before the dawn. Anyway, when I told you to buy Litecoin, it was 50. Now it's at 80. You're welcome. Send me all your gains. Let's go. Thank you for the donut. Look at that. Look at that. We're 2/3 of the way there. Oh, wrong thing.
Who wasn't following politics back then? I didn't understand it. I didn't know who Rahm Emanuel was. and I've got a better understanding of it now. So all of that would be hindsight. It wasn't look. It's like when people listen to like a Wu-Tang, like a kid discovers Wu-Tang, and they're like, "Wow, this," but they wasn't there to.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, Yay. But also, thank you for the new follows. Check it out. I mentioned it. We got 7 more. We used to need 17. Now we only need 10. We only need 10 more followers to get to 2,000. It could be you. You could be Big Tech's top guy. Hit the follow button, please.
Understand and connect this is what these people are wearing, it's what listen to, this is the reason why they said that. So I'm gonna just tell you, I don't have enough of an understanding. I'm like I said, like I'm an early Christian. I'm a young Christian. I'm also a young politician. You know, I'm young into this. So all I saw was black when Obama won. I was just happy Obama won, you know, and now I realize that he was actually just another Jewish president.
You really feel that way? You really feel that way? Yeah, you really, really feel that way.
Okay, I knew y'all was gonna get mad that I said that.
No, I'm not mad.
I'm saying that.
You really feel that way.
Which part of the feeling?
That Obama was another Jewish president. Are you saying that like they controlled him? You saying he was a puppet? Like what exactly do you mean by that?
Every president been Jewish since 1948.
Oh.
Yes. I'm speechless on that one.
Always. So yeah, I definitely want to know what's your position on family.
I mean, that is a key to America. That is the backbone of America, and that's the reason why my family was intentionally broken up, and the reason why my father's family was intentionally broken up. 100%. You know, my.
By the way, I wonder if, look, Ye knows about Ari Emanuel, and Ye knows about. Sorry, and Rahm Emanuel, who was Obama's, I think, chief of staff. And Biden was right there in the vice presidency. Biden's all tied in. I wonder if he knows about Barney Frank. I think I might want to do a stream about Barney Frank. Do you guys know who Barney Frank is? If somebody knows in chat who Barney Frank is, flex your brain. Show me some knowledge. Who's Barney Frank? Somebody in chat, tell me who. Let's wait. Let's see how long it takes. I mean, I got a little delay on the stream. It's kind of a long one, I think, because of my satellite dish-based internet. Wait, is it? I thought I heard rain. Barney Frank. Partisan Hack says nope. Don't know who Barney Frank is? Nope. Who? Barney Frank. A pedo. Good night, Big Tech chat. Oh, good night, Love Speech Groiper. Good night. ADL founder? No, that's Leo Frank, was the sex pest Jew who raped and killed a young Gentile girl in his pencil factory and got arrested, which sparked a mob, which ended up hanging him. And the ADL was formed to defend Jews after the scandal of anti-Semitism in the media, the flurry of anti-Semitism in the media around the Leo Frank issue, because he was Jewish, and Jewish powers came to his aid and helped to essentially get him pardoned. He was captured from holding, and they lynched him. Leo Frank. Who's Barney Frank? American politician? Almost. Close. He was the Republican Speaker of the House and a pedophile? No, I don't think he was ever Speaker of the House. Democrat? True. Correct. Philly Q posted a YouTube video. Philly D, I mean. What is this?
It worked.
World Peace 2, actually. Oh, I saw the Sam Hyde video. Good. I might play that, actually. Thank you. Thanks for sending that one. Nobody knows who Barney Frank is. I got to do a Barney Frank video. Ye needs to know about Barney Frank. Let's do it in real time. Just real quick. Let's just dip our beaks. We're not going to go into this big time. We're going to go back to Ye. Barney Frank. Wikipedia. Barnett Frank. This fella. We're going to go. No, I'll leave it here. This might be a clip. Who knows? Barnett Frank, Barney. Born March 31st, 1940. Boomer. Is a former American politician. He served as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Massachusetts from 81 to 2013. A Democrat, Frank served as chairman of the House Financial Services Committee. Never Speaker of the House. He's chairman of the House Financial Services. All right, financial. Keyword. House Financial Services Committee from 07 to 11. And was a leading co-sponsor of the 2010 Dodd-Frank Act. His name is Barney Frank, co-sponsor of the Dodd-Frank Act. What's the Dodd-Frank Act? Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, currently referred to as the Dodd-Frank Act, overhauled financial regulation in the aftermath of the Great Recession, which we're referring to, remember, the 08-09 banking collapse with the housing speculation, the housing market triggered banking collapse, unsecured loans, all the rest. Y'all were children, but I was a homeowner. And what happened is that Barney Frank, let's go to paragraph 2. Responding to widespread call for changes to the financial regulatory system, in June 2009, President Barack Obama introduced a proposal for a sweeping overhaul of the United States financial regulatory system, a transformation on a scale not seen since the reforms that followed the Great Depression. Legislation based on his proposal was introduced in the United States House of Representatives by Congressman Barney Frank. We still haven't told you who Barney Frank is. I'm telling you what he did under Obama. Barney Frank wrote the Dodd-Frank bill proposed under Barack Obama as the solution to the 08-09 banking collapse. Banking, finance. Where do you think we're going with Barney Frank? Most congressional support for the Dodd-Frank Act came from members of the Democrat Party. 3 Senate Republicans voted for the bill, allowing it to overcome the Senate filibuster. 3 Senate Republicans who were traitors and were bought out. They turned on their party to side with the Democrats and beat the filibuster. The Dodd-Frank Act is generally regarded as one of the most significant laws enacted during the presidency of Barack Obama. So this defines the Obama presidency. It's the Dodd-Frank Act. You think it's Obamacare? No. It's the new regulation and restructuring of our banking regulations. Really, in a nutshell, what it did, it worked hand in hand with the TARP Act, which was the banking bailout, where the government sent billions of dollars into the hands of these banks to bail them out of trouble. And it allowed for a restructuring where all of the big banks gobbled up all the small banks. And now we have a sort of like this working hand in hand, even closer than before, connection between the government and the banks. and the banks have been more or less centralized, even more than they already were. Back to Barney Frank. Early life and education. Frank was born in New Jersey, one of 4 children of Elsie and Samuel Frank. His family was Jewish. And his grandparents had emigrated from Poland and Russia. 1940, emigrated from Poland and Russia. So Polish and Russian Jews came to America and gave birth to Barney Frank, who then went on to pass the Dodd-Frank Act for Barack Obama to restructure the financial regulatory system of these United States. Ye just got done telling us that Barack Obama was just another Jewish president. I wonder if he even knows how deep it goes. Oh, and by the way, Barney Frank is also a homosexual. So a literally gay Jew restructured the banking career. Personal life. Frank resides in a studio apartment in Newton, Massachusetts. His husband, Jim Reddy, is a surfing enthusiast whom Frank met during a gay political fundraiser in Maine. You can't make it up. July 7th in 2012, Frank married Jim Reddy at Boston Marriott in Newton in suburban Boston. Frank's net worth is estimated by Open Secrets to be between $619,000 and $1.5 million. Really, only that much? That's kind of surprising. Frank chose not to participate in the congressional pension system. He said he did not believe he'd live long enough after retirement to reap benefits over contributions, and he was convinced that he would remain single and have no beneficiary. But he ended up marrying his gay boyfriend from the gay political fundraiser. His sister, Ann Lewis, served as a senior advisor for the Hillary Clinton 2008 presidential campaign. Religion. On August 3rd, 2013, Frank expressed sympathy with the host's atheism on a television program, Real Time with Bill Maher. In his biography, however, Frank states unequivocally that he is not an atheist and is uncomfortable with expressing firm views on questions for which he is unable to provide an answer. Frank's agnosticism led him to resolve, if he had been appointed as interim senator, to take the oath of office in the United States Constitution rather than the Bible. He'd rather swear on the Constitution than on the Bible, because he is an atheist Jew, or agnostic. Agnostic, gay Jew. Chief Representative of the United States Council. What was it again? What was it again? How do you say that again? House Chairman of the House Financial Services Committee. Gay Jew would rather swear on the Constitution than the Bible. Rejects the Bible. Sympathizes with Bill Maher's atheism. Basically atheistic Jew, homosexual. Barney Frank. Son of Russian and Polish Jews who immigrated here in the 30s. You can't make it up. He wrote the Dodd-Frank Act, which was the defining legislature of the Obama presidency. Get it? Are we getting it?
My mom and my dad, they was buppies. And think about, they both had people. These are the educated ones. I dropped out. I was like the college dropout. And my mom had a PhD. My dad, double masters. And they're up there. They driving a BMW, townhouse, rich friends. Oh, you best believe CIA got to them. Start getting in my mama ear. We got a job for you up here in Chicago State University.
Jesus, salute.
Why don't we move this kid that they've been watching me, watching my test scores, this kid with this IQ that came from these parents, let's move him to the south side of Chicago. Who do you think showed my mom the house? Who do you think showed her the job at Chicago State? The earlier Corey Gambles. The earlier versions of that. The earlier CIA. They break apart the black family at every single level. It's a Tuskegee experiment that they have used, and have used the black families, and now they're using that on all of America. The same principles of breaking up the families. There's something that a friend of mine wrote to me about the CIA playbook. That's your whole music. While I look through the text. Okay, here we go. Well, when we talked about the question about coming off crazy, and to directly oppose or discredit people who are exposing truths that attack the agendas they are using to control society through media. That's what we've been dealing with these past 3 months. So when we talk about family, we break it down. And I also asked my dad, I said, why did you want to abort me? He said, well, they made us feel like y'all were nothing, like y'all didn't matter. You know, people say they locking up all our leaders. They doing this, but guess what? It's a new leader every day. We're making a new leader every day.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate
night,
you.
JR.
You know,
I missed him saying
I'm
good
really
night, man.
glad that you have brought that up.
Sweet
because
dreams.
I went through like a similar experience where, you know, people made me think I was crazy because when I was younger, like they was always watching my test scores too. And I had like my siblings too who had the same exact issues where these things was happening. And we all thought we was crazy. But, you know, they try to like, you know, try to tell our parents to put us in different positions and homes and stuff and different programs. And I'm glad that my parents kind of caught on to like what was happening before. And like now that I think about it in the future, like I actually thought I was crazy. Like I don't speak about these things publicly, but when I hear you speak about it, it's motivating to me because I'm like, damn, like this was real. This was real, and I'm not just dreaming about these things. So I really appreciate you for being the voice of this, and I just had to let you know that before I get my next question off. So yeah, so
it's good to hear that. You made me feel like when I get to talk to Kyrie, how he feels like, you know, that, oh, we went through the same thing. Like, even when I brought up I'm not going to say what kind of hospital it is. I'm not going to say what, it was a juice, is when people say I went through the same thing with my contract. So my boy went through this and that. Every single person has had this exact experience. Even Shaquille O'Neal had these exact same experiences, but Kano is
Dominic Gold Movies. Salute.
Other than me.
Thank you. Let's go.
Dominic Gold Movies.
Still
Salute.
have a net worth of $400 million and still have $250 million cash stash, even if some of it was in my baby mama house.
If the walls could talk.
Yeah. When you said that, I started to dig in deep, and then I started to get into the MK. I've always been into researching the MK Ultra stuff because I wanted to know what was actually happening. I know things were happening, but like when you started to talk about this stuff, it really hit me. And then it's funny because when I did a space about you and I was speaking, you wouldn't believe how many kids or how many adults now who came up and said, "I'm so happy that he spoke about that." So I appreciate you. Let's get into like Balenciaga, right? So, what's your thoughts on Demna and Balenciaga's public apology?
You know, you gotta understand. It's like I said on my beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. The race discrimination is real. We've seen it broad day with what happened with me,
somebody unfollowed you, sons of.
And the way every celebrity, even heroes of mine, like Q-Tip, was like, I stand by my Jewish people. Everybody posted. My baby mom posted. Everybody posted it, right? And then with the Balenciaga thing, Jerome get more time than Brandon. You get what I'm saying? It's like, boom, everybody jumped on me. But I had another theory about it. So I would say there's privilege in that, right? There is
I could
a
do
real
better
thing,
content
white
while we
privilege.
listen to.
And
Get an idea.
this is the society that we're currently in, the society that we're making moving forward. The vision that we have moving forward.
Who knows what I'm going to do?
Is something for all beings. Like the internet is for all beings. iPhones are for all beings. Teslas, Mercedes-Benz, homes are for all beings. This is the type of things that I've always been interested in making my music. So let me say that as my disclaimer. You know how Dave Chappelle gave a disclaimer and then he went on to say about his friend, they dropped that nigga. I ain't like that, Dave. I ain't like that. You tell country, you tell Kweli. I don't like Kweli's hat either. You tell Corey.
HR said tone is inappropriate, sent $5 random. Why are Europeans in Europe so cucked now?
I ain't like that. He went on SNL and said that.
Why are Europeans so cucked now? Because of World War II. I mean, the whole place got raped. Not by Hitler. Got raped by Russians and Americans. Didn't have to go down like that. It was really a change of hands that was attempting to take place. And one side said no. And now it's all messed up. So, I mean, just imagine what happened, you know. The Berlin Wall stayed up for a while to separate communists from the rest of Europe, but the British didn't take it well. Their cities got bombed too. Their boys died. All the countryside of France was filled with landmines. It was a massive tragedy. And the reshifting of power structures and the creation of the UN and all that stuff, you know, there's so many other things. It's been a slow erosion. And then in recent, decades, massive immigration, massive leftist policies. But that's like the result of, like, the World War I was the war to end all wars. And then there was another one, and they couldn't handle that one. World War I was a war to end all wars. World War II was one war too many, and it's over. They're just broken. That's my general assessment of the situation.
You know, I'm talking about Corey with the goatee. So, some about these Corys. You know, what's up with the Corys? So every category, I just get into rap bars right there. So my disclaimer is we are beings with engineering opportunity, and we will no longer let race divide us as we move into the future. But as far as our now and our past, there are truths to a division because of race, and there is white privilege, right? So Balenciaga and Demna, they sit in a position of privilege more than a black company or a black designer would. You know what I'm saying? It's like I opened the show for Balenciaga, and everybody thought that was just the coolest thing. And then the next day, I do my own show for my own brand that I own, and I did a T-shirt that said "White Lives Matter," right? Because if a white company puts me as a black man in the front of the show, that's like a Black Lives Matter moment in some way, right? So
saying that because like that was
for Balenciaga.
That's the missing key, which people didn't understand. Because I understood why you did it, but I just wanted to really hear you say it, like the difference between the two. And I'm glad that you brought that up. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and that happened in one day. You got to see the role reversal. We all been programmed. We all been MK Ultra. We can argue. Let's put up the argument. I'm not a scientist, but I'm going to put this up for something that we can find out. If there is content that can set off, or if there's things in our body from the vaccination that can be set off by content on TV.
Wow.
Wow, such a good question, man. I can't wait to get into that.
So we all are under an MK Ultra. We all believe in Nike for some reason. We all take our checks and line up, step over a homeless person and buy Gucci for some reason, right? So when I did the Yay 24 on Balenciaga, I felt like a little kid having to give away their favorite toys. Because Demna is my favorite designer of all time, period. Black, white, straight, gay. Demna is my favorite designer. It's literally like he could have made the Star Wars toys, in my opinion, because I love Star Wars toys, right? And for me, when I was going through the divorce and I had money coming in, I'm at a 57,000 square foot warehouse, I started buying Balenciaga because the clothes just felt like toys. It's something about when I would wear that Balenciaga, I felt like an action figure. I felt like a superhero. The proportion, that cut that he had on it, right? So as a designer, you know, I love Demna as a creative. Now the company, the whole company of Balenciaga,
welcome to
I
Getty Gang.
That
welcome to
there was
Getty
a
Gang.
hit on that company. Because it's interesting, because Candace Owens has not said one thing about my Alex Jones interview, but she still keeps talking about Balenciaga. But Candace Owens works for Ben Shapiro. Okay. And then Alex Jones has a set group of things that he's talking about. You got to understand, media is noisy. There's no solution inside of the politics that we, the audience, get to see. The industrialization and the hit had been set way before. People were set up with the guns before JFK got in the car, is what you got to understand before you're arguing about Balenciaga Gate. People ordered the guns and set it up before JFK got in the car. So you got to understand, by the time anything gets to us, it was planned. Coronavirus, it was planned. Balenciaga Gate, it was planned. Because meanwhile, people are participating in pornography. Any participation, says the Lord, I'm a hold 2 tablets on y'all right now. I know I'm a young Christian, right? But I'm going to either hold these 2 tablets, I'm going to hold these 3 stones right now and say, hey, and you know, for you know, we know this is Moses and David, what I'm talking about, these comparisons, right? So anybody who participates in any form of pornography, that's holding on to any pornography of any sort.
Colby Williams, this is live.
Of any sort.
Right now.
Okay.
Is participating in pedophilia, because the majority of the people who are the women and some of the men that are in pornography and in the sex industry are products of molestation and pedophilia. And when a grown, married man, single, whatever, is watching it, whether they're watching teens and someone who's supposed to be just barely 18, or they're watching a MILF, it's still somebody's daughter. And that's why I'm not talking about no moral compass anymore. No moral compass anymore. It is about Jesus said so or Jesus said no on God. And it's God who protects me. It's God who protects me. And when it's time for me to go, it's going to be up to God. And the only reason why my accounts, I'm going to go back to this again. The reason my accounts, the reason why I got spanked like that is because I was using my ego, my self-esteem to go on Drink Champs and talk about, I made this money, I did this, I did that. And God didn't like that. So in everything I do, I need to service God. Even if it's saying, I love Hitler. Even if it's saying calling out these contracts, as long as it's service to God. Anybody participating in any form of pornography is just as guilty as the people who put those child pedophile papers, or the people who only saw one of the
Lola.
images. It's an image
Facts.
that's even more disturbing, where the child is laying down, and that just should have been like, yo, wait a second, what are we talking about, right? But people don't realize, bro, we're also MK Ultra. To pay $6,000 for any garment of clothing when there's people going hungry is insane. And I participated in buying overly expensive clothes. Our clothes cost $20. It is possible. Look, there's 5 elements, and I know people are going to say energy, but these are forms of energy that I'm about to say. There's 5 elements that the elites use to control the masses, that the 1% use to control the 99%. Water, food, shelter, medicine, and the number one of all, education, knowledge, because with that, you can get any of those. And those are all energy. And the greatest energy that we have is each other. We hold energy far better than the iPhone. We are God's iPhone. We are his favorite creation, made in his image. And the most important thing that we have is each other. So if it's anything that I would say is be good to each other. Let's be good to each other. Let's hug each other. Let's love each other. Let's be good to each other. Let's hug each other. Let's love each other. Let's not judge each other, but let's take our brother's hand and lead them with a better plan. Let's say, hey, here's the solution.
Can I get some hugs in chat?
Here's the alternative. I've talked to women who are in the sex industry. They say, I'm under contract, though. I don't know what else I'm going to do with the rest of my life. They said, I'll never work anywhere again. They be 20 years old, thinking that they're under contract to work in the sex industry for the rest of their life. I see a vision. And I told Kim, Chloe, and Courtney this. So I'm going to put this vision in this world into the universe. I see a day where Kim, Chloe, and Courtney Kardashian go to Amsterdam. And as a symbol, like when they make these visual public symbols and they do the riots, the symbol, they shut down Amsterdam. They have the position to do that. Not Amsterdam, the whole situation. I'm talking about that street. They shut down the red light district where they have people's daughters in the window. How much is that daughter in the window? The one with the silicone tail. How much is that daughter
silicone
in the window?
tail.
It sounds really more creepy when you hear it like that. It's not just like a swiped up or link bio, is it? When you really realize that's somebody's daughter on OnlyFans, that's somebody's daughter on Reddit, that's somebody's daughter on Pornhub, that's somebody's daughter in the window. So if we want to talk about Balenciaga Gate, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we all participate. Let's talk about me discovering pornography when I was 5 years old and the fact that this is a legal drug put on freeway signs. You go to certain cities and they have strip clubs on freeway signs. It's a whole family there. For me, when I was dealing with a pornography addiction at age 14, I had to sneak, or I had to go get a crackhead or something, or one of my friends that had grown a beard or something like that to go and buy it. Right now, they're spiking the punch. TikTok is spiking the punch. Disney is spiking the punch. They are making our kids question their sexuality early on purpose to cause confusion.
Facts.
And that is part of this new war order that we're part of. We're already in World War III. Don't realize it. And guess, you know who told me we're already in World War III?
Who told you?
Harley Pasternak.
What?
You think you might know? Unify and find out. He told me that like 2 or 3 years ago. Information is the war. Information is the war. We're already here. Why you think I posted war? And I sure went to it, didn't I? Now we know. What'd you say?
No, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I don't to also say this, like, you know, you are, even though, like, listen, I hear a lot of the things you say, and we could go back and forth, but I see the bigger mission, and I just want, and I know a lot of people don't tell you this, and I don't know if they do, but I'm just going to say this, like, I really appreciate what you're doing. Like, this is like a huge awakening, because there's a lot of people like me who went through a lot of stuff who people wouldn't believe, and when you come out and you speak like this, like, you make us really like onto some, like, we did, like, we not going crazy, and I appreciate you for that. And I'm trying to be a grow, like, you know, dude today, and just really have a conversation with you. But you really make me proud, Yay. Like, that the fact that you speaking about this, like the fact, like, there was people, you have people crying on my stage, happy tears, because they really kind of is what was really excited. Now, like, yeah, I want to know, why you think more celebrities are not talking about Fashionegate right now? Because we have a lot of celebrities who, you know, were on your ass about you know, the comments that you made, White Lives Matter now, and the comments you made about the Who's, but like, now everybody's quiet when Fashionegate come up, and it's, you know, everybody was like, you know, protect the children, and now that it's time to protect the kids, like, everybody is quiet. Why do you think that?
Because they work for the Jews. They celebrities. They're in Hollywood. We're in Jewtown.
Welcome to Getty
New York
Gang.
And California are both Jewtown. And now they turn in Nashville
Welcome
to Jewtown.
Getty
So
Gang.
it's like they already, that's who they work for. You know, people.
Welcome to Getty Gang.
You know, the whole idea of the New World Order and who cuts the check. The reason why God allowed America to be the number one superpower, why are we the number one superpower? Our Navy. You can't touch us. Like, that was complete. That was BS when they was talking all that Korea stuff. They can't get to us. That's why Trump started there. Like, he's calling them tiny missiles. He's saying, don't get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's our Navy. But why would God allow it to go somewhere else? It's our disobedience. Same reason black people went enslaved for 400 years. Our disobedience. Can't nobody enslave us. We enslave ourselves to things that are against the Bible. We enslave ourselves because it's through this clarity, right?
That's the real truth right there, man. We enslave ourselves to things that are against the Bible, meaning that to sin. We enslave ourselves to sin. That's the slavery. And at the end of the day, that's how Jews win. That's how they rule us. It's through vice. They entice sin. That's why, and we went over it. Like, well, why were the Jews ones doing the banking? And they go, oh, well, they had to. They weren't allowed to do these. They weren't allowed to participate in these other things. And they found this one industry that Christians wouldn't do, which was lending. Like debt-based lending, like usurious lending at interest. And they said, oh, well, we'll do that. And why were the Jewish pornographers in so much trouble in Germany? Why was the pornography industry in Frankfurt such a problem? Why were the Jews the ones involved in that? Are they just like sickos? It's like, well, the Christians wouldn't do it, but the Jews would. But the thing is, there's no market for it if nobody buys it. And as soon as we do, it weakens us. And there's no debt slavery if nobody takes the predatory loan. But the power that the money gives you to rapidly advance is really enticing. You might look over the fine details in your hurry to gain riches. End up in a bad loan. It seems fun to go to college and party, and I'm going to get a good job and lots of money. Bunch of school debt for a useless degree. There's a million examples, but we end up enslaved by sin. It's the sinful. You can't, you can pray to be saved and protected from tragedy. But when you end up in bondage, it's your own weakness that ends you up there. You could even say, oh, well, the slaves were captured. They had to be slaves. There was nothing they could do. Well, you mean they all couldn't join together and fight to the death to be free? Well, they would have died. Yeah, so they clung to their lives. They would rather be slaves than die. They would rather be safe than fight. Well, it's a losing battle. It's a choice. You're making the choice not to fight to the death for what you want. And Ye's out here showing us, look, dude, they're going to kill me, but I'm making the choice to not be a slave. How many are there like that? It's pretty based. That's true freedom. I was talking to somebody earlier. It's not about being free to do as you want, free to sin, yada, yada. It's about there's freedom from sin in following God's way. Like in him, in his spirit of love and righteousness, there's freedom from sin. And another way of saying that, there's freedom in the form of, like, there's peace. It's not licentious freedom. Freedom, I can do whatever I want now. I'm a God. That's not what freedom, that's not the freedom we should want. We should have freedom from worry. Like when Jesus was talking to people, the thing he said almost the most was always like, worry not, peace be with you. Like that's what you're after. Freedom from worry. And if I know that I'm willing to give my life up for what's right, then what do I have to worry about? Nothing. I can do anything I want. And the only thing I'll do is what's right. I'm not even afraid to die. I'm not even worried about that. Now I have no worries. I just have, when I'm not even worried about dying, then what am I worried about? It's like that. That's freedom.
If I was drinking, which I was the night when I put up the debt, when I spelled that wrong, right? That drinking cost me $2 billion. So it cost me more than that, but also put me in a situation to really refocus. And the Bible, yeah, Jesus turned water to wine, but there's a passage that say, king don't drink. If I have any thoughts, it's not an if, I'm just wording it different ways because my team is saying word it. But, about 2024 and the idea of being a leader is no drinking, no sex before marriage, no pornography, no random cursing, all of this, be completely faithful to Christ. And a lot of people that are in Hollywood, they don't say Jesus King. They say Black is King. They say Cash is King, but they're not putting Jesus' name on high. And I forgive them, and I don't judge them because we all fall short. Ain't none of us Jesus. Ain't none of us perfect.
How's this guy gonna?
But
you calling that a restoration?
In a position
what
to
a
be
ripoff!
This is my
that
makeup.
Ain't restored.
There's something.
It said, incredible restoration. That's not restored at all. That gun's still destroyed. You just cleaned off that destroyed gun. Oh, come on, man. Cringe. Chris.
About my personality that's wired to do this. Shaq was going to break, break backboards. It's the way he was made. He was made to break a backboard. That's what it is. I was made to break the internet. I was just built like, I've been like this since, since 5 years old, since 1 year old, since none years old. It's just my personality.